Meaningful World Humanitarian Mission to Armenia, April 14, 2017. Our work began with the devastating earthquake in 1988, and our last mission was in 2014. The team included Dr. Ani Kalajan, Ms. Lorraine Simmons, Dr. Leslie Popoff, Mr. Karen Gargarian, and Dr. Daria Diakonova from St. Petersburg, Russia. From the moment we arrived, we were privileged to observe many of the traditions and customs of the rich Armenian culture. Armenia's long history carries with it great meaning and pride of heritage into present-day society and gives Armenia its unique character and essence. Driving through the streets of Yerevan brought to view the stark contrast of the rich history of Armenia with a modern-day business and shopping center and a bustling subway system. There is also a palpable energy brought by a growing number of young Armenians determined to return to their roots while tending to new creative growth. We were blessed with banquets of traditional Armenian food prepared by our gracious hosts, Luara and Salrig Parsigan. Cultural foods included organic yogurt, a variety of fragrant greens, cheese, apricot jam, and sour cherry juice, all made at home. We experienced the ancient process of kneading dough and the baking of traditional flatbread in a Luvash bread factory, as well as lighting candles at the oldest cathedral in the world, the impressive Ekmiadzin Cathedral. The goal of our mission to Armenia included promoting emotional healing and well-being. That's the most important priority. Transforming generational trauma of the Ottoman Turkish genocide of 1915. Transforming horizontal violence via the Crab in the Bucket campaign. Training professionals in the 7-step integrative healing model, which incorporates and promotes self-care, self-healing, mindfulness, emotional intelligence, empathy and meaning-making, nurturing healthy families. Transforming domestic violence by educating both boys and girls, and to follow up on the initiative we began in 2014, which was to launch a suicide prevention lifeline. Our mission had a 3-prong approach. First is healing, then education and research. The healing and educational aspects of our mission consist of workshops using the 7-step integrative healing model. This innovative method allows for expression, release, transformation, and forgiveness. It is a sustainable approach as it teaches individuals specific tools and methods to utilize on an ongoing basis. We teach this method to all people we work with, including university students, professionals, medical personnel, children, and the elderly. With an IRB approval from Luther College, we administered scientific surveys to all adults to assess the continued impact of the trauma they experienced, as well as their level of forgiveness and discovering meaning. The majority expressed distress regarding the anniversary of the Ottoman Turkish genocide, commemorated on the 24th of April, the devastating earthquake in 1988, the horizontal violence, especially related to family and domestic violence, unemployment, poverty, and brain drain. The groups we worked with were diverse. Professors and students at the American University of Armenia at Vanadzor State University, also at the Armenian State Pedagogical University, as well as students in the trade schools in Gyumri. Challenges expressed by the students were trauma from being drafted into the army, where the death tolls continue to rise along the border with Azerbaijani, to pressures from families, and fear and concern for their future. We were humbled to work with Syrian Armenians dealing with the challenges of resettlement while struggling to survive in a country overwhelmed with severe economic hardship. The Syrian refugees have been forced to leave their homes overnight, and many are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, extreme fear of repeated trauma, anxiety, and sadness. They were incredibly open and responsive to our integrative healing modality, including essential oils, meditation, and other physical movements called soul surfing. We conducted workshops at the Women's Rights Center with an emphasis on horizontal violence as well as women's rights and empowerment. At children's centers, we worked on empowering young girls and boys to teach the United Nations Declaration for Human Rights and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. We discussed emotional intelligence, mindfulness, assertiveness, and meaning-making. With the younger children, we used art therapy for self-expression and interactivities to help them understand how to communicate empathically with one another. All of our workshops ended with soul surfing exercises designed to release trauma from the body and to balance the energy centers for a better mind-body-spirit connection.
Հիմա արդաշնչելուց կամաց պիտի ծնգաչոք ինչպես կսեն, չեմ գիտեր լավ.
When we completed our soul surfing exercises, we joined hands and formed a heart-to-heart circle of love and gratitude to combine our energy and send our love to everyone in the world and all living things. When our workshops came to a close, we shared hugs with everyone and presented all participants with a small gift and a certification of participation. Our workshops were sustainable as we asked every person to share what they had experienced and learned with a minimum of 3 others: family, friends, neighbors, and co-workers, in turn asking those to share with yet another 3. While we worked directly with 500 people during our 2-week mission, we were able to impact over 2,000 people indirectly, and hopefully over 1 million through television, radio, and newspaper. On the 24th of April, 2017, we paid our respects to the 1.5 million who perished in the Ottoman Turkish genocide of the Armenian people, commemorating the 102nd anniversary. It was emotionally moving to see the endless stream of people of all ages walking for hours, flowers in hand, to place at the eternal flame in honor of the victims. Witnessing the entire country coming to pay their respects on this somber day, the concept of generational trauma was clearly evident. Seeing the elderly and infirm, disabled veterans, parents pushing strollers or carrying children on their shoulders, all walking the same long symbolic desert march to the memorial, was a moving experience beyond words. In summary, when we arrived in Armenia to begin our mission, we were excited to work with Armenians and the Syrian Armenian refugees, as well as meet our multiple goals set forth. We did not anticipate the depth and breadth of the connections that we would make. In just 16 days, we conducted 17 workshops in collaboration with 12 organizations, including the United Nations, human rights centers, governmental, local, and international NGOs, community centers, faith-based organizations, children's centers, and universities. In spite of many challenges, the people were open, very expressive, warm, and hungry for more training and education on healing. Their positive attitude and sense of humor came through despite their hardships and helped them transform their pain. Thanks to generous contributions by people like you, Meaningful World was able to sponsor 7 children in need for school, medical needs, and food. 50 Heart Hug dolls were donated with prayers and positive messages in their pockets. And we made a home visit to an elderly man in desperate need of companionship and financial assistance. For all this and more, we thank you.